Right, so it's time to answer some questions about getting on stages. So in this email that someone sent, they said this. They said, what's the best way to find speaking gigs and not get turned away?
How'd you do that?
I see that success is not something you pursue. It is something you are.
So in this email that someone sent, they said this. They said, what's the best way to find speaking gigs and not get turned away? I've looked at the speaking gigs of similar people in my field and reached out to where they are speaking, but to no avail. Now, this is one of the reasons why it's really good to include your website in these emails, because if I wouldn't have looked up her website, then it would have been harder for me to answer this question, because I would have assumed one thing, whereas it's really something else. So she actually does something that I talk about all the time. You look up other speakers who are similar to you, and then you contact the events that they've done before, because that way you know the people you're contacting are hiring speakers like you. So she did that, but when I went to her website, and let me pull this up here. When I went to her website, I easily found out why she wasn't getting hired. And the reason was because of the website. So first thing you want to think is, how many people have you actually contacted? How many people have you actually contacted? Because I don't know how many people you've contacted. When you say it doesn't work, when you say people aren't or they're not hiring you, maybe it's because you only contacted 10 people. So a lot of people underestimate the amount of others, the amount of leads that they have to generate, the amount of people they have to talk to in order to get hired. So that was number one. But the real answer, even if she contacted a lot of people, the real answer was this. I looked at the website, and the website, I don't know if you can see this here, the website was this. And the answer is, the website isn't working. The website, as I'm looking at it, it says there's a date on here, February 8th through the 18th. That lets me know, if I come to your website and I see February 8th through the 18th, and this is May 18th now, and I look to see like, oh, that was in February. That was a while ago. Now I start to think, oh, this speaker isn't updated. They don't update anything. Maybe they're done for. Maybe they stopped speaking for a living. So I see a date on there, and I immediately think like, okay, it's a no-go. So that's a huge thing. And a lot of people seem to underestimate the fact that there's two different parts to getting hired. Number one is you contacting people, or just traffic in general. The next one is actually getting hired, the conversion part, where they finally see your website, they finally see all your stuff, and now they're like, oh, let's bring in this speaker. As I looked at your website, I noticed that the videos weren't good. You don't have the testimonials. So you have to improve your brand and your image as a speaker. If you're not getting hired, it's because you don't look like you're worth paying for. So first thing you got to do is completely fix your website as I'm really looking at it. And then also you have to make sure that you're contacting people the right way, because I don't know how you're contacting people. I don't know what you're saying to them. So you have to make sure that you're contacting people the right way. There's a right way and a wrong way. The wrong way is what most people do. They say in the first email, they're like, hey, I'm a motivational speaker. I'm whatever kind of speaker. I'm this kind of speaker, and I'm the most amazing thing in the world. Hire me. That's the wrong way to do it. The right way is to make sure you build out your cadence. And cadence meaning build out exactly how you're going to contact them. So step one is you send the email, and then after that email you call them, then after that you send another email. So you kind of build out this cadence. And there's a right way and a wrong way to contact people, and you got to build this out. But really the main thing that I see is your website. As I look at the website, let me look at it real quick. So when I look at this website, the first thing I see, it says about and wellness market, educate, nourish, challenge, and contact. Those are the navigation tabs. Now, if I'm looking for a speaker, there's absolutely nothing about speaking on here. It doesn't seem like you're a speaker. It seems like you're a blogger. So the reason why you're not getting hired is because you don't look like a speaker worth hiring. and you want to fix this with your website, you got to make sure that you're talking to the people who want to hire a speaker like you. You got to make sure that you're branding yourself the right way. So I would brand you as just an inspirational speaker, and then you talk about the wellness and the fitness and all that, the other aspects in your speech. But you got to make sure that you're branding yourself right. So that is why you're not getting hired. And listen, guys, I tell speakers you got to invest in programs like Brand Builder, because little things like that really do matter. You feel like you're doing the right things, and you are doing the right things. She was doing the right things. She was looking for speakers who were similar to her, contacting those events. That was the right thing to do. She just wasn't doing it right. And a lot of people do the right things, they just aren't doing it right. You might have a website, but maybe it's not a great website. You might think it's great, but no one else does. And the way you determine that is you figure out where your problem is. Is your problem in terms of contacting people? You don't know how to find and contact the events? Or is your problem when you do contact them, they just don't hire you? In her case, it was the whole of when she contacted them, they just aren't hiring her. And in that case, your problem is always, always, always your image, your website. Do you look like you're worth hiring? So that's it. And if you have a question, then send me an email at info@speakinglifestyle.com. And if it's not a dumb question, I'll answer it. But just send your emails to info@speakinglifestyle.com, or send your questions there, and I'll answer a few of them.